Alright, welcome back, Summoners, to a very special holiday festive Christmas edition of the Garena Premier League. My name's Chris, I'm joined by Hungry Kid once again, and we already have two matches gone past us. In fact, that was IFC Legends picking up a 2-0 victory against Zotac against the Zotac squad. And so right now, it is going to be the next set of matches. It's going to be Kuala Lumpur Hunters going up against KTHXBAI.
Yeah, now KLH and KTHXBAI rather going up against each other. Kind of a repeat of what we see normally in the Legends circuit in Malaysia. These two teams, top tier, very high placing teams, occasionally outclassing each other here and there. But we are in picks and bans immediately. So we do have the first ban immediately being Nar and Zeref being taken out by the Kuala Lumpur Hunters. Now, I want to point out, Nar here specifically targeted at 13 Ghosts. It's not like a OP ban, but rather because 13 Ghosts plays that Nar so well, they don't want him to have it. Meanwhile, Zeref being taken away from Kuala. Interesting here, the fact that Kuala's in the mid lane for KTHXBAI. He used to be on Insidious Gaming Candy, so there have been some roster changes in the downtime, as you see Swag as well in the top lane, and the only people keeping their positions on the starting lineup here being Stray and Pyro.
That's right, and so we have quite a fair bit of shake-up on the side of KTHXBAI, but the beauty of it all is that these two teams, they are in the same country, and I'm gonna guess that they do scream each other very, very often, and they're also playing in the concurrent tournament, the Legends circuit. So I believe that they should be, they should have some sort of information up against each other.
Yeah, so this Zeref ban makes more sense now that Kuala's in the mid lane, because Kuala's Zeref has been extremely on point. Lissandra, Maokai, wow, you can look at that 3 top lane picks, bans rather being targeted at 13 Ghosts. Meanwhile, Morgana and Rumble. That Rumble specifically for Swag. If you watch the Legend circuit, you know that Swag is amazing on that Rumble. Even though he gets camped, he arrives at fights with his haunting guys and his equalizer, always turning the tides.
Yeah, that's right. And I want to just introduce some of the players and their profiles for our international viewers, or players who do not watch the Legend circuit, which by the way is the Singapore and Malaysian local tournament right here. Is that between both Swag as well and 13 Ghosts, they have very unique characteristics, to say the least. Swag is an extremely proficient top laner, and for 13 Ghosts itself, he's gonna be there in the team fights, but the problem with him is that he sometimes needs a lot of help going through the laning phase as well. So in that sense, that might be something that we have to look out for. And speaking about things to look out for,
it's the Sejuani.
We have a Sejuani right here.
Diamond at IEM Cologne showed there's a Sejuani in the jungle, was a powerhouse pick. Moon here taking a page out of Diamond's playbook. I want to talk about Moon a bit, because Moon has been known to play these very oddball jungle picks. He's picked up Nautilus the previous time. He's preferred to go with those tanky, able to supply crowd control jungles that help Jae-Young peel.
Yeah, and I really like that coming through as well. And Jae-Young in the past, it was just about a couple of weeks back, he was in the jungle position, and right now it looks like he is going back into that AD carry position as well. Kind of this throwback to the old roster, because before they kind of just swap things out with Casper now back on the support.
Something I want to point out here is that Kuala Lumpur Hunters pick and ban style. It's very consistent across the board. They always pick up their first pick, Leona, if it's available, and then they go with the jungle pick. And then after that, they follow up with the 3rd and 4th rotation of the AD carry and mid. But in this case, considering they're on the red side, they could stall out the mid to last pick and counter pick for Azura Veki. However, picking up the Caitlyn for Jae-Young here would be a good idea. Jae-Young is very proficient on that Caitlyn.
Let's see what's going to be the case here as well, because they know for a fact, they know that KTHXBAI has kind of showed their hand on the bottom lane as well. It is going to be that Lucian and Janna lane. Very strong combination, to say for the least, but it's going to leave up a lot of vulnerabilities for Kuala Lumpur Hunters to kind of exploit here. And kind of turning things around for KTHXBAI here. If you look at it, they have Jarvan, they have the Janna as well. So in that sense, they have a lot of roaming potential that's going to come through into the early and mid stages of the game.
I expect Pyro here to pick up the Janna, if not the Braum, because Pyro is this support player who likes to keep his AD carry safe, and he's very good at roaming. Meanwhile, on the other side of the coin, Kuala Lumpur Hunters locking in that Irelia as well as Jinx. Jinx, the hyper carry now. A lot of people feel very mixed about her, because some say she has a very poor early game, you need to snowball. I mean, she has a very strong early game that you need to snowball, whereas others feel like without her escapes, she's very weak to assassins. And speaking of assassins, Ahri.
Yeah, that's right, and I think you absolutely called what Kuala Lumpur Hunters are going in terms of their strategies for the pick and ban phase in the exact order as well. But this time around, they're kind of stalling out the mid lane pick for themselves. So I think it's a pretty good strategy, kind of forcing KTHXBAI to show, what are you guys gonna play exactly in the mid lane, and Ari's going to be a high possibility, I feel, for Kuala. He is extremely comfortable on assassins like Ari. Yeah.
On multiple occasions when he's played Ari, he's styled on Zer, the previous mid laner of KTHXBAI, whose spot he's actually replacing.
Yeah.
Swag, however, picking the Renekton, it is his pocket pick. He's most played champion in solo queue. Extremely comfortable on that. Going up against the Irelia, you know, historically, Renekton against Irelia favors Renekton a lot.
Yeah, that's right. And, you know, kind of, you know, just given all this situation right here, it even kind of spells out for Lumpur Hunters that we might see a lane swap come through. If you think about it, for Lucian as well as Janna, going up against Jinx as well as Leona, probably not the best matchup for Lumpur Hunters. And Irelia going up against Renekton, also probably not the best matchup. So Lumpur Hunters can just look to lane swap, you know. Irelia's going to be able to CS under the turret. You get all the farm and the you know, space that Jaeyoung needs to actually form on to the mid game.
So Zervaki on this Fizz, it is his comfort pick. He is known to blind pick that Fizz in, but now taking it as a counter pick to the Ahri, you can actually throw pole, use that playful trickster to dodge the charm.
Yeah.
If you land on Ahri and then you use that Urchin Strike and Sea Stone Trident combination, you're gonna win that trade no matter what. So this here,
oh, there we go.
definitely going to be a lock-in for Zervaki. Now you can look at the composition of Lumpur Hunters. They have very obviously singled out. They want a team fight and skirmish, which is something they're amazing at.
Yep.
If you use that Solar Flare, you combine it with that Bola, and then using that Charm the Waters, you instantly pick off someone like, say, Lucian, who's very immobile after using that dash.
Yeah, that's right. And, you know, if you look at it, they have a lot of mid to late game insurance as well. And for both Irelia as well as Jinx, as long as they get some sort of space, they will be able to snowball out of control. The problem with Lumpur Hunters is that their early game might not be as strong as compared to KTHXBAI, and that is something they definitely need to exploit if they want to win this matchup against Lumpur Hunters. And speaking about these two teams as well, KTHXBAI is in a position where they were down by you know, 2 games as compared to Lumpur Hunters, who went for a draw as well. So for KTHXBAI, it's almost quintessential that they at least need a draw in order to try to catch back up in the group
And
stages.
if they do win this game, they basically leave KLH in the dust.
Yep.
So, very important placemaker here, as it were.
Yeah, that's right. So for KTHXBAI here, you know, with this new swapped up roster as well, I feel like
I'm excited to see them play.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we've seen some of these players play in the Legend circuit, the Singapore and Malaysian circuit, but not so much, you know, in the global arena. So, sorry, not global, sorry, the regional arena. So in that sense, even though these two teams are, you know, kind of playing on the, you know, the big stage of GPL, it's kind of familiarity all over again. You know, these two teams, they know each other well. They just need to sort of play the best game that they can do, and let's see who's going to be the best team that wins.
So something interesting here, Jaeyoung likes to do this. He takes barrier on his AD carries. He did it previously against, I believe it was Zotac in the previous game. Oh no, yeah, it was against ISG rather.
Okay.
He took that barrier on that Vayne that he played, and the reason why he does this is because he doesn't value the heal on his support that much. He prefers the more defensive solo style of burying himself.
Okay.
It gives you additional defense. It is not reduced by heal, and it has a low cooldown. So Jaeyoung here making a very good adaptation.
Yeah, I guess it kind of makes sense as well with the prevalence of Morellonomicon in the current meta. So heal might not be the best choice as compared to barrier. So he values that straight up, you know, that extra bit of damage that he can take. And I think it's exceptionally important for Jinx as well. Sometimes you just need the extra few seconds to maybe, you know, shoot someone down before you get the extra speed boost from get excited and you can just
you put it perfectly. The extra 0.5 seconds for surviving. If you get a kill or assist, you basically get that, you know, speed boost that sends you around getting that reset. And Jaeyoung, the carry who likes to play this double hard carry style, it's going to be something that Kuala Lumpur Hunters will look to do.
Yeah, that's right. We, of course, for our international viewers or our viewers who might just be tuning in right now, wondering why, you know, we're not jumping into game at this point in time. We are playing on the live servers, which means we will have that 3 minutes spectator delay, but we will be jumping into game as soon as it is left available, so don't worry about that. 4.21 patch as well. That is going to be the patch that these two teams are going to be playing on. And here we go, a portrait for the current lineup for KTHXBAI, I believe.
Yeah, you can see on your screen, unfortunately, the brothers, the twins, as you can see here, very obvious twins. Ribena as well as there.
Where's the twins?
Yeah, well, the third one from the left and the fifth one from the left, right?
Okay.
So Zer and Ribena are not on the starting lineup, unfortunately. Everyone else is, so very excited to see what they bring to this table.
That's right, so KTHXBAI as well, previously one of the top teams in Malaysia, was in the championship spot, I believe, for the Malaysian side for a short while. And right now they are in a position where they are recuperating and look to regain that position once more. And I think this is going to be one of the best opportunities to do so.
I mean, I'm really excited for KTHXBAI because you've seen that documentary that Garena released. They showed the pains of the team. They have to travel 7 hours just to practice and get to the game, where get to the location for the game. So when you commit so much time to your dream, you really wish, you know, they're like the underdogs. You want them to succeed.
Yeah, that's right. And here we go with the loading screen coming up as well. Plenty of challenger borders.
Definitely no stranger to solo queue, these guys are.
Yeah, that's right. So all these players, you know, for a fact is that they're extremely proficient players, but sometimes it just boils down to the sort of synergy and the strategies that comes into play that actually, you know, just makes a big difference. And here we go. It's going to be KTHXBAI starting things off on the blue side. This time it's going to be Swak up on the top lane, straight in the jungle. Kuala in the mid lane playing Ari. CO4 playing Lucian, as well as Pyro playing Jenna on support.
And the red side, you can see 13 Ghost playing that Irela in the top lane, Moon playing that diamond
here we go.
inspired jungle, the Poro Rider, Sejuani, Azura Vecchi on his very comfortable fist, Jae-Young, the star AD carry voted most popular player of the TLC on that Jinx, and his partner Caspio playing that Beach Leona, I believe. Beach Party? Beach Suntanning Leona?
Pool Party.
Pool Party Leona, yes, that's the
Yeah,
one.
got the Pool Party series, and I think Swak's playing the Pool Party Renekton as well. You know, everyone having a pool party.
They're really showing off the seasons here. You have that winter Sejuani, you have that summer Leona.
I'm not too sure if, you know, for the countries who have snow now, I'm not too sure if they really want to have a pool party now.
Yeah, probably not. You're gonna
Okay,
freeze.
before that, the Poro Rider Sejuani. I was wondering why the Poro keeps sticking out its tongue all the time, and then someone pointed out to me, the weapon for Sejuani in this skin is a lollipop, a huge lollipop.
It's not only a lollipop, it's a giant Poro snack.
Okay.
It's huge.
It's a Poro snack, not a lollipop.
And she's gonna be clubbing you with that, so you might want to be careful, KTHXBAI.
Yeah, man. One of the best skins that I've seen, hands down, you know, the huge Poro. Kind of like a mutated one, I don't know, just like a huge one.
So level 1, not too aggressive, both teams warding out the entrances to their jungle. Gonna be standard start. KTHXBAI here look to do the Crux together with Stray, helping him. Won't get the level 2 solo from the Crux. However, you can see Jae-Young and Caspio poised to take the Gomp for themselves.
Yeah, I would say it's a pretty good strategy. And let's see what actually Caspo leveled into. So if he does go for that extra bit of armor and measuring resistance, oh no, he in fact went for the, you know, the extra stun at level 1, and Caspo in fact is gonna soak up all the aggro from the Grom right here.
But it's fine because he started with 3 health potions. You could see in the biscuits, so or rather 4, I believe. So being able to heal that when he gets to lane, they will hit the level 2 very quickly. And Leona, together with Jinx, when they hit the level 2 together, very scary for CO4 and Pyro.
That's right. A lot of you know, crowd control potential from Columbo Hunters right here as well. So something that we really have to watch out for. Pyro though, he is gonna be the one to kind of control the pace. And here we go, level 2 stage for Columbo Hunters. Let's see if they are going to be able to do anything out there, because Casper is still relatively low after soaking up so much damage from the Grom. And here we go now, Casper going all in on the CO4 right here. He does not have the relentless pursuit as well. Jae-Young might just get first blood off of this one, but he's taking so much aggro from the minions here. The exhaust now comes through. CO4 gonna pop the heal right here. Where's the last auto attack? Does not get it. Where's the barrier? Here we go, Jae-Young. Where's the first blood? No, it's gonna be CO4 turning things around. Caspo, he might just go down as well. It is gonna be straight picking up that kill, and man, what a mismanagement of minion aggro that was on the side of Columbo Hunters.
Yeah, definitely a miscommunication coming in there. You could see Caspio backed off and then went back in with the Zenith Blade. Very good play there by CO4 to dodge the vision for a split second, walk into the brush, giving him the extra health they need to beat that duo. Jae-Young using that barrier, almost got him, not really. The issue with Jinx, we talked about how she has to snowball her early lane. Well, she just fell behind.
Yeah,
Could be a problem for KLH.
That's right. I was extremely impressed with CO4's, you know, health management right there. He went into the brushes, got that extra bit of time for his piercing light to come back up, got the kill down onto Jae-Young, and if I recall correctly, this was taught to me by one of the, you know, the guys that have been around in the scene for a very long time. There's this mastery in your rune settings. You get a 5% HP
Dangerous
back.
game, as
that's
it's called.
Dangerous game, yeah, that's the one. You get some HP back. He used that slit off HP to take down Castle, and he got a level 3 out of that. So extremely good play from the AD carry of KTHXBAI. I think this is going to be one of the best starts that we'll hope for.
Yeah, you look at the itemization. Went back, immediately bought a pickaxe and 2 wards, whereas look at Jaeyoung. Only that 1 Torrent's Blade. He's going to be losing trades left, right, and center. Even though he does have that Pow and Fishbones. Not sure if he could trade eventually. Behind them though, Moon is arriving for backup.
Yeah, I think he needs to actually come off the jungle earlier to show some help for the bottom lane. If ever since that last encounter down the bottom lane as well, if you think about it. And again, it all points back to why is there no lane swap for Lumpur Hunters. That's something that they should have considered coming to this game, because if you look up at the top lane, Swag is holding on to a 13 CS lead up against 13 goals as well. And down the bottom lane, after that misplay from Jaeyoung, that's going to be painful for Lumpur Hunters.
Yeah, you have to agree that Irelia in a 2v1 situation, or 1v2 rather, does better than Swag on Renekton. You can't dive at Irelia as well as you would. Or Zoraveki going in a bit too deep. Playful Tricksters out.
Troll pole.
Yeah, Troll pole OP, man.
Yeah, that's the most annoying thing to do with Fish. You know, sometimes when you think, you know what, he's out of position, let's get him, he just troll poles out.
But Kuala, 7 CS up against this, is doing a very admirable job.
Oh,
goes.
13 goes, might just go down, does blow the flash. Swag, does he go down? Yes, he does, and looks like this time it is going to be Swag that mismanages that, you know, turret aggro up in the top lane.
Swag, my friend, unfortunately, greed is not good. You should have just backed off after 13 goes, used his flash, and called your jungler up. Maybe a bit of a overestimation of his abilities, if you will.
Yeah, the greed play from Swag not paying off this time around. In fact, it's gonna bring, you know, Swag back into the sorry, not Swag. 13 goes back into the lane as compared to before. So kind of both teams having a little bit of hiccup. It was Jaeyoung down the bottom lane, and then, you know, for Swag it was up in the top lane.
Yeah, Stray sitting here wants to make this gank happen. You can see behind him though, Moon is walking up, will be spotted around that banana brush ward. So Stray pings him out, they know that Moon is there. Clears the ward. Stray has to be careful here.
Oh, here we go now. Zoraveki going for the chum the waters as well. Zoraveki taking so much damage. Here comes the flag and drag. Moon's gonna go in for the fight right now. The smite down onto Zoraveki, not enough damage to bring him down. And with 13 goals running the fight, and the Moon, and sorry, Moon flashing over that charm as well. Stray might just go down, not quite yet. Still surviving around with about just a slit of his HP, 62 health.
Gonna get the execute?
Yeah, he's gonna go for the execute, and that's gonna go over. KTHXBAI is still gonna avert that disaster.
Yeah, pretty good play there. Unfortunately, 13 Ghosts had to roam down to provide some assistance using his teleport. Teleports are desynced now, and Swag has picked up a level as well as CS lead, so driver's seat now, KTB. They could put pedal to the metal.
I feel like that's absolutely what they need to do. We are talking about it in the pick and ban phase. They absolutely need to snowball the early and mid game out of control to keep KLH down.
Yeah, exactly. When you talk about that, you look at the styles of both teams. KLH is this very skirmish heavy team. They like to get into those deep 30 fights, as you've seen multiple times in the early game. KTHXBAI, however, mechanically very sound team. You could see Swag getting that CS lead. A lot of their plays tend to rely on outskilling and outclassing the opponent 1v1. And KTHXBAI getting this small goal lead, window of about 800 goal, pulling forward.
And you start to see the difference coming in from both the junglers as well. If you look at Stray, he did go for that Stalker's Blade as compared to Moon, who's just looking to power farm up to that level 6 gate, where he's going to be a lot more effective. And up in the mid lane as well, we did see Kuala trading very well against Zoraveki, and up in the top lane now, it's going to be Swag going up against 13 Ghosts, actually kind of forcing him back for a short bit. Does he have enough damage to execute him, though? He's going to get stunned up under the turret. Once again, overcommitting to the top lane turret.
Yeah, you can't just do that dive without getting at least your first core item. You could see dynamization from 13 Ghosts here, getting the extra health and armor, really saving his height there. Unfortunately, Swag looking to go towards the Tiamat, does not even have half of the components built yet. So I feel like in this situation, if you want to go deep, at least call your jungler or finish your first core item.
You know, Swag, my buddy, I know it's Christmas, but that's not exactly how you're going to give presents to your opponent.
Yeah, he wants to give the gift of fair game. He wants to equal the footing a bit.
Yeah,
so I believe it's a Merry Christmas here for 13 Ghosts.
Yeah, ho 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 for 13 Ghosts right here. No, 2-0 for Irelia, so definitely a good start. Even though he's down about 13 CS, I don't think it's going to count for too much. He has all this extra gold to work with, and of course, that cloth armor, the MVP item to say the least, for the first few minutes of the game up in the top lane.
So Caspiel here, very aggressive deep wards as he does. If he spots out anyone coming towards them, they could effectively back off very easily and disengage. It also does mean that if anyone makes moves into the jungle, they could roam on him and get a kill.
That's right, and actually we do see Pyro looking around the mid lane area as well. So trying to back up his mid laner for a fair bit. In fact, might look to converge down to the dragon as well, but there is going to be that one ward there for Kuala Hunters with full knowledge that KTHXBAI are actually doing the dragon at this point of time. Let's see if they are going to be able to say something about that. Looks like Kuala Hunters is going to give that one over to KTHXBAI.
They basically saw Moon recall, they had vision of him recalling, so that signaled the opportunity to go and start that four-man dragon rather early on. We'll give them that damage lead, a damage buff rather, that will help them edge out the lead. And right now, bottom lane, all the players have hit level 6, so it's something that we can look forward to. Jaehyung very aggressive with that fishbone to poke KTHXBAI down. Yeah, the early CS and goal lead being negated here by Jaehyung. He does have that 3 CS lead. Now using that pop-out to maximum effect, you have to say. Moon sitting in the brush does have his ultimate, going to turn CO4 and Pyro into popsicles at a whim. Yeah, and Moon is around the area like you mentioned. That Glacial Prison is going to do so much to lock down KTHXBAI. But they are taking a long time to do it though, so not too sure if they are even going to commit to this at all. Jaehyung is down by about a 4 of his HP, so that's something that we have to really kind of watch out for. They are bringing out this brush, so they're very scared. I think CO4 could check this out with the Ardent Blaze, using the spot out. Oh, let's use it to farm, so... Oh, here we go! The Glacial Prison are now up! Chain them to the Solar Flare, but a very quick flash from both the players from the KTHXBAI bottom lane gonna avert that disaster altogether. But that is 2 summoner spells just quickly taken down just like that. Yeah, KLH definitely has to be hefty with that trade. 2 summoner spells for 2 ultimates that will be up again in about a minute or so. It basically means that CO4 and Pyro now have to play very safe. If a roam comes down from Moon or Azura Veki, they could get the kill. That's right, and Kuala Hunters here still holding on to that little lead that they have. Sorry, KTHXBAI actually holding on to that very small lead that they have. And Azura Veki gonna come around, take the blue buff for themselves. They had the ward there, so they will spot up the blue buff going down and have the timer. So they could invade and try to get a potential skirmish going on in the jungle for KTHXBAI. But what I feel at this point of time is that KTHXBAI, they actually need to step up in terms of their aggression. Yes, they have been actively looking for some kills and some skirmishes across the board, but they haven't been able to just put that feet in that metal. Just go all the way out, make sure that you try to smother out Kuala Hunters so that they do not hit that mid to late game power spike that we all fear for. And Jaehyung actually getting taken down quite low over here. He actually pops that barrier up as well. So I think CO4 is going to be able to force him out of the lane at this point of time. From a macro perspective, I think what you do here as KTHXBAI, best case scenario, you want the brush behind. When Jaehyung and Caspiel go a bit too over aggressive, Sok teleports behind, counter ganks them, and gets a lead back. So you want to use your top laner to propagate the advantages around the rest of the map. I'm not so sure about that though, because Swap is actually down by 1 level or so, but he has been actively just shoving out the waves. Just make sure that, push out the waves, make sure that Looking Ghost isn't able to respond to that, and that's actually going to create a lot of space for him to teleport. Shock though getting taken very low in the top lane. You can see his health bar blinking red, has to slice and dice out. Yeah. In fact, he does still have the dominance though, so something that we have to really consider in the skirmish up in the top lane, as we do see Moon as well as Caspo just holding things out for Jaehyung as he returns to the lane, almost completing out the Infinity Edge as well, so keeping in check with his counterpart. Serveki here, picking up the Sheen first, so that's gonna be a Lich Bane, I believe. Probably gonna follow that up with a Zhonya's Hourglass, allowing him to play more aggressive. You can see here, just going in. That's right. Talking about aggressive, we did see Kuala just use that Spirit Rush as well, so not gonna deal a lot of damage. And here comes the culling down the bottom lane. Jaehyung soaking up a huge chunk of that as well, so that was a pretty good combo. And right now Pyro might be in a bit of trouble here, getting taken down solo. Super Mega Death Rocket, it's gonna take him down. And right now it's gonna be the rest of the Kuala Hunters squad looking to converge on. Sweat gonna get taken down, and it is gonna be straight trying to lock the rest of the team out. Kuala Hunters still gonna go in onto this one, juggling that aggro from the first tier bottom turret here, but Zorbek is gonna be the one to pick up the kill onto Stray. CO4 is gonna go down as well, as Jaehyung's gonna be the one coming out huge in that team fight. Remember how I said that KTHXBAI should push the advantage? Well, it looks like KLH was the one that took my advice. They knew that they had the ability to teleport behind. Azura Veki roamed down very early. You could see the vision on their side here. Next Dragon up in a minute and 30. They want to get vision of the area, go back, buy, and then contest that together when all their ultimates are up.
Yeah, that was almost an exclusive preview to what Kuala Lumpur Hunters do and to what they can do when they get very comfortable and they get a hit in a fight like that. And you know, we saw for a fact, you know, that wombo combo coming through from Kuala Lumpur Hunters, just so easy for them to clean up the fights after they land a few crucial ultimates from there. And
the scary thing I have about KTHXBAI is the fact that they have a very low damage composition. You have Ari, Lucian, and Renekton. They only do a lot of single target damage. You have to hit the charm, you have to use the light slinger to get one person down. When you have someone like Moon who's building full tank, someone like 13 Ghost who's gonna go tanky after that Trinity Force, it's really hard to damage them down. 13 Ghost has no fear here, knows that Kuala is inside, just runs past him.
yeah, that's right. So right now it's gonna be Kuala Lumpur Hunters pretty confident with their play right here. And you know, for Kuala Lumpur Hunters, that's the kind of thing that we're expecting, right? Once you know Jaeyoung goes in, he knows for a fact that he's gonna be he's gonna be the one with enough damage to actually clean up the kill. That was exactly what he did. 2-1-1 now on Jaeyoung. Does have the Infinity Edge up as well. And I was about to comment CO4 as well, you know, for together with Pyro, you know, putting up that out of some extra damage on the Carling. Almost brought Jaeyoung down to 1/4 of his HP. But the subsequent collapse from Casper was just so timely for Kuala Lumpur Hunters to actually bring that team fight down to KTHXBAI.
So setting up for this Dragon here rather. All their elements are up, the big ones at least. Glacial Prison and the Solar Flare, as well as the Summoner Waters. So Veki taking a bit too much damage in the mid lane. But they rotate to mid. KTHXBAI rather rotates to mid from the Dragon. Gives up the vision and sacrifices this Dragon.
When we see a potential kill come through though, Casper's gonna zone stay away.
They can pick this fight.
Yeah, here we go. Casper's gonna start things off. Gonna lock down Stray as well. The Zep's gonna land the Glacier Prison. Every single thing drop down onto the jungler. Swag now is in a lot of trouble right here, and a huge Monsoon is gonna reset that team fight. Everyone now is gonna disengage on the side of KTHXBAI, and we see on the bomb lane we do have the AD carry on the side of KTHXBAI just pushing by himself. KTHXBAI playing distraction duty right here. Who are they gonna chase down? Are they in fact gonna be able to chase down Swag? I think they might be able to do so. Swag is yeah, he's gonna be able to get out of there, and a huge play from KTHXBAI. They will take down the bomb lane turret. They will trade
safe. Stray, however, has the EQ into the turret. Will get executed once again.
Yep.
He really loves giving those deaths over to the turret.
But at least, you know, he's not giving it over to the players.
Yeah, which is more than I can say for what KLH is doing. They force all these engages. Yes, you get the dragon. You pull the trigger. But you're all on different pages because you could see the bola was used a bit too early. Only slowed, it didn't lock them up. And then Pyro with the huge Monsoon resetting the fight. After that, what you should do, just send one person to the bot lane to clear the waves and then tunnel and push down mid. Because they use all their disengage, you can get the turret for free.
Yeah, and you know, it was KTHXBAI definitely having the better end of the deal. They took out Ozorveki in the mid lane, got the turret, and you know, just played out that entire, you know, fight so well as well. You know, if you think about it, just creating so much noise for Kuala Lumpur Hunters that, you know, CO4 was able to just take down the bomb lane turret without any challenge at all as well. So, you know, bringing them back in the Gold League game as well. And I think what they absolutely need to do now is to not repeat the mistake that they have down the bottom lane and then start to step up, because right now they are having that small advantage to work with.
Solar Flare barely hits CO4 on the edge. Not gonna be able to lock him up, so that's ultimate use to catch someone out. But they do get turret for this, I believe. However, Swag got a turret in return, so one turret apiece to each team.
So I feel like at this stage of the game, everything is kind of back to square one again. Except for KTHXBAI, they have that small advantage, but they really need to push it to open up that goal gap. And in fact, they're gonna take their time here to push down the bottom lane turret as well. No, not rushing into things, making sure that they're denying as much turrets as possible. And CO4 gonna get met up and destroyed by Jaeyoung with the Super Mega Death Rocket, straight out in a lot of trouble, and that is gonna be the double kill for Jaeyoung down the bottom lane. Ozorveki in a bit of trouble here. Kuala's gonna come in. Will he get the cleanup? I don't quite think so. There's gonna be 4 members of KLH there. They will not want to take the risk.
Yeah, I have to point out that Jaeyoung is playing these snipes off really well. He knows that his team is gonna put the damage down, uses the Super Mega Death Rocket beforehand to clean them up, and using the Zap to chase further on. You don't have to be snowballed early if you're getting kills left, right, center like this in the mid game.
Yeah, that's right, and Jaeyoung here might be in a lot of trouble, might just get melted down, but here comes the rest of Kuala Lumpur Hunters to peel for Jaeyoung, and that's exactly what you're talking about in the pick and ban phase. Jaeyoung barely dodging out the orb of deception as well, and now Kuala is the one in a lot of trouble. Ozorveki is the one that picks up the kill. Moon's gonna soak up damage, and everyone just converging in, blocking out the projectiles, and Stray here with a very impressive flag and drag. Flash trade coming through, both teleports now blown on the side of both teams, and it is gonna be Jaeyoung still staying alive. SWAT coming in, looking for the cleanup here. Will he get there? Yes, he does. That is the shutdown going over to KTHXBAI, and they will try to chase down onto the KLH squad here. Will they be able to do it? The slice and dice should be coming back up in a couple of seconds, but I think that's gonna be the end of the engage, or not quite, as they might just chase down to 13 goals. Are they gonna be able to do it? Still a lot of distance to close though. It's well, yeah, they are gonna stop chasing.
I think they're calling it a day and they're backing off. But something I want to point out there was the miscommunication that happened. Jaeyoung was hitting straight from the side, but the rest of the team collapsed onto Sok as well as Pyro. I don't think that's what you want to do in a fight. Or yeah, basically I don't think that's what you want to do in a fight, because you want to be able to burst down whoever your Jinx is hitting to get him the reset.
Yep.
If you split your damage among different targets, it's not going to work out as well.
So that was actually a very messy chain of events right there, but KTHXBAI came out slightly out of that one because they got a 3-for-2 exchange. So kind of bringing their overall experience zone back together. I think that's more important for KTHXBAI at this stage of the game. They need to kind of match up to the experience that Kuala Lumpur Hunters have, and actually Moon taking a lot of damage from the red buff, I believe, down to about 1 slither of his HP. So not too sure what was going on there, but he should be able to resolve this.
KSP there almost caught out Pyro roaming toward. I don't think he should be doing that alone, considering the pick composition that KLH has. If you land the Charm the Waters or the Zenith Blade or even that Bowler, you're going to be able to catch that person out easily.
Right then, so KTHXBAI as well as Kuala Lumpur Hunters back to square one in terms of their goal count here at the 20-minute stage. But so much more has happened, if you think about it. Jaeyoung has been able to pick up multiple kills, and for 13 goals as well. You would think that in a usual occasion, he's going to be the one that needs a lot of catching up, but because of that small blunder that Swag has in that top lane phase. Speaking about that, with this team, Ozorveki just pick up Kuala with 1 clean sweep as well. So
I mean, yeah, you talk blunders. That was probably the Charm not hitting. Ozorveki saw the window, considering they had vision deep in the jungle. Landed the Charm the Warriors and basically all-in him. That's the problem you have when you play RE. Either caught or be caught.
Oh my goodness, here we go now. One more combo now comes through. And Jaeyoung picks up the first kill onto Stray here. As it is going to be 2 easy kills just handed over to KLH on a silver platter. KTHXBAI has to disengage from the mid lane outer turret now. And that's going to actually open up the goal gap a slight bit, as Dragon is also back up live. So let's see if KLH can go all the way and pick up 2 objectives in a row.
Okay, they do get the ward. Now this is the 3rd Dragon, I believe. The movement speed definitely going to play a big part in a cat call. Second one. Okay, then it's going to be a big part in the siege. I thought it was the 3rd one, because the 3rd one will give them the ability to chase down really hard using that Solar Flare as well as the Charm the Waters. However, 2nd one's pretty good too. Jinx with the Pow and Fishbones can siege very well with that pushing power.
Yeah. The 3rd Dragon of the game, the first one went over to KTHXBAI, so kind of keeping track of the dragon count here.
It does get messy nowadays, considering they changed it up a little.
Yeah, that's true, right? And right now KTHXBAI kind of caught in the trap for Kuala Lumpur Hunters, like what we saw earlier in the mid game. In the bottom lane. And what KTHXBAI needs to do now is actually be very wary of their positioning, because if you look at what Kuala Lumpur Hunters did, Casper landed a very, very good Solar Flare, just catching out 2 members of KTHXBAI out of position, clustered up together as well. Solar Flare knocked them out, Glacial Prism follow up, and that was how Kuala Lumpur Hunters was able to take out the fight.
It's your textbook wombo combo composition.
Yeah. And the problem as well is that Pyro was trying to reset the fight with the Monsoon, but it was too little too late.
Yeah, at that point of time, if you get trapped under a turret like that and you layer it perfectly, the Monsoon only works if you have a small window of disengage. But when you use that Solar Flare, the Bola, as well as the Jinx Ultimate Super Mega Death Rocket to execute someone, it's basically a roll on from there.
Yeah, that's right. So that's something that KTHXBAI has to be very careful of, and 13 goals starting to come into this game with a lot more confidence as compared to the first couple of levels like what we saw earlier. And now it's going to be Kuala catching up Moon. Where's the Glacier Prison? Here we go. And is it going to be the Super Mega Knife Rocket? Yes, it does come true. And Jaeyoung now on the back end getting trapped in by the Cataclysm. Solar Flash going to buy some time for Lumpur Hunters. And it is going to be 3 members already going down. Where is Pyro going to try to go? He is not going to be able to run anywhere, and that's going to be the triple and the ace, a clean ace for Lumpur Hunters as well as they look towards Baron.
When straight dropped that Cataclysm onto Jaeyoung, I immediately thought of, Watchman Rorschach. That one sentence, I'm not trapped in here with you. I'm not trapped in here with you, you're trapped in here with me. And he basically got the reset there, got the kill on, I believe it was straight, and that allowed him to snowball and basically run throughout the rest of the fight. Use that pop-out with the Phantom Dancer, lifesteal, and clean up house.
Yeah, that's right. I thought that was a pretty good catch from the side of, KTHXBAI there when they actually saw, Moon out of position. But I have to say, the follow-up was just so immediate, so quick that, KTHXBAI had no time to react whatsoever. Lumpur Hunters has now blown the advantage wide open. 7,000 gold lead with the Baron buff as well. It's just going to be so difficult for KTHXBAI to deal with.
And the other issue is the itemization, like I called out. Zoraveki Lichbane into Zhonya's Hourglass. With that Zhonya's Hourglass, you can see how every fight he's going in so deep, using that Urchin Strike, immediately tagging them with the Charm the Water so he will never miss, and then using that Zhonya's to stall time for the rest of his team to collapse. Jaeyoung playing immaculately communicates to Zoraveki, hey, you let Charm the Waters, I'm going to launch my rocket, and we're going to clean up.
Also, Lumpur Hunters, they do have a lot of the kills centered around Jaeyoung as well, if you look at it. And I mean, that's fine. He has been able to position himself, land those zaps, land the chompers as well to make sure that he is in a very, very safe position. And he's getting rewarded for that. I think he might be going for the Bloodthirsters next to get some extra shield coming in. And here we go now. Casper's going to try to lock up Kuala, but he does pop that Spirit Rush to get out of danger here. So, huge cooldown being blown here from Lumpur Hunters. And not too sure if KTHXBAI can capitalize off of that, but they at least have that small bit of assurance that that's not going to come back anytime soon.
Yeah, definitely, like you put it, in this composition, very important to have that Solar Flare. You could see there, they could layer it, but they don't have that Solar Flare here, so it's basically only Charm the Waters. If they had Solar Flare, you could layer that, and then use the Bola to effectively catch out Stray. But because they blew it trying to catch Ari, they can only get this turret and not the kill.
And there was some pretty creative play from Lumpur Hunters as well. If you look at it, just using the Charm the Waters, as well as the Super Mega Knife Rocket to actually chunk down Stray, forcing him back and then taking away the inner turret.
Yeah, getting this inhibitor turret as well. The thing goes really deep.
Right here we got the Glacier Prison now down as well. Pyro's gonna try to reset the fight. And Kuala now on the backline getting dove on the flag and drag does not land. Solar Flare now comes back out. And let's see if Lumpur Hunters is gonna be able to clean out this one. Catfall takes out one kill. And the shutdown comes back now onto Swap. They might just dive in too deep on that one. Lumpur Hunters looking to disengage off of that. The set now comes back up again. Jaeyoung picks up yet another kill. No, sorry, that was 13 goals that picked that one up. But a very good assist from Jaeyoung once again. There is a 4-for-1 trade, and they will take out the mid lane inhibitor as well.
Yeah, that was great micro of damage across the board. They are taking this Nexus turret. They look to end the game with the Pow Fishbone combination here by Jaeyoung. He has Infinity Zedge, he has the Phantom Dancer. They could take down this Nexus. 15 seconds until Sword comes up, but they're playing safe. Recalling Tier 4, manages to get a return kill. A bit of a consolation there. The rest of the team have to be very wary and run scared.
That's right. I'm not too sure if they can catch up to the Lumpur Hunter squad though. So there is going to be 2 Nexus turrets going down whatsoever. And let's see if KTHXBAI can catch up to Jaeyoung, but that's not quite the case. Not too sure what KTHXBAI can take out of this though. We did see Casper going down, but all the lanes are so shoved up on the side of Lumpur Hunters. I don't think they can capitalize off of that.
And that's honestly the hallmark of a very clean team who knows how to close out the game. Your first... Stray!
Hold on.
Stray, my buddy.
Oh, Zoraveki! He's going to be in so much trouble. The calling now comes true, but he's going to stay safe. He's, after all, a very slippery fish.
Yeah, as I was saying, the hallmark of a good team that knows how to close up the games. Make sure your lanes are shoving up first and foremost. Then, control the vision. After that, pick people off and get a winning team fight. Now in this case, the Dragon Buff, as I mentioned just now, movement speed, very important to them. You could see how they're going to be even more aggressive now, considering that they're going to outrun most members of KTHXBAI.
That's right, and now the Baron buff is off on the side of Lumpur Hunters, but I think the damage has already been done. Mid lane inhibitor down, and the 2 Nexus turrets as well. We might even see the potential of a backdoor play from 13 goals. His teleport is now down, but that always opens up that sort of, that danger. You gotta be very aware. Okay, KTHXBAI must be thinking like, you know what, we gotta wall up the side of the jungle, get some vision there, make sure that there's no one trying to sneak any play past us.
It's the psychological warfare, because when you have to constantly look out for a play that the opponent can make, it basically limits your own moves. It's like a game of chess. You have to watch out constantly, and sometimes their moves will conflict with yours.
Yeah, that's right. So something that we have to watch out for. Pyro getting a little bit, deep into enemy lines here just by, warning alone here, but I think he should be fine by now. If you look at the concentration of wards on the side of KTHXBAI, is all towards their own jungle entrances. Very defensive wards played here. I really like that move here. And for Lumpur Hunters here. Oh, and popping that solar flare. Very prematurely. I'm not too sure what was that, but
I think that was more or less just trying to warm up. He knows that it's winter, Christmas is coming. People look very cold, so he just uses the solar flare to warm them up.
Good guy, Caspo. Warming the guys up with the solar flare.
Yeah, but now with the ultimate down, on a serious note, they won't be able to use that to layer the engage. So when they siege this, they have to be careful that they don't overcommit, especially if Jaeyoung gets caught out by the charm here.
Alright, Lumpur Hunters looking to take down the top lane in the turret. Nice and easy. Not too much challenge whatsoever. And let's see if they're going to go all in onto KTHXBAI though, because like you said, solar flare is down. Gonna wait for that. Actually, it's going to come back on in about a couple of seconds, so not too much to worry about. Ooh. Okay, we go now. The engage down to Kuala. The Zhonya's going to come back up as well. Thunderwall is going to hit multiple members on the side of KTHXBAI. And we might just see Lumpur Hunters close out this fight as well. That's a double kill for 13 goals. Where is the triple? No, it's going to go over to Jaeyoung. And that's the double going over to Jaeyoung. Where's the triple? Yes, it does. It is going to be the triple for Jaeyoung and the double for 13 goals. And that is going to be the game going over to Lumpur Hunters. A very dominant performance in game number 1.
Yeah, very clean textbook play, not overextending the leads, controlling vision very well, and keeping the AD carry safe. You could see most of the game, Jaeyoung was not out of any position. His team was always flanking and keeping him safe. That's something you consider KLH to be very famous for, power all your cash onto Jaeyoung and hope he carries you.
Yeah, that's right. So with that, Lumpur Hunters once again proving why they are a powerhouse coming into Group B here, and potentially they went 1-1 against IHG Legends in last week's matchup, and this time around kind of demolishing KTHXBAI in a very dominant and strong fashion.
Yeah, you could see there, our observer showing us the damage dealt to champions by Kuala does not even compare to the damage dealt by Jaeyoung. A big 5,000, if you will, goal damage lead in the next game, right? Do you think they're going to be banning out the Leona? Because we saw